Beard oil, you'd show up on a job and some girl would be like, "Hey, this is my number. Why
It's
don't you
like,
give me a
here's the deal.
call?"
That
You're
smell
gonna
reminds me of the summer. You
It's
from
like,
are you
you're
from
delivering a
Jersey?
package to me. How about you deliver another package to my box? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I got about 5 minutes. Yeah, okay.
It's like, shit.
Well,
There's no
what are we
camera
gonna
in the
do?
back of this van, right?
What are we gonna do with the other 4 minutes and 30
Yeah.
seconds?
Cuddle, dude. Of course. I'm a fucking gentleman. I'm not just like some playa.
Wow. Zers.
I will
Way to
say,
start.
set this bitch up, and when I set up, I mean, put a battery in it and put this RDA on it, but it's ripping.
Looking pretty fresh.
Now I'm gonna get high, boys. Perfect time.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of getting high, let's get high and do the show. So
Yeah, down,
podcast
down.
time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
Yes, it is time to load a Dynavap, kick back, and enjoy because it is shed time. Yeah. So welcome back to the shed, ladies and gentlemen. To all you people out there listening, we do appreciate you. I gotta say, I had to make this admission in the Shed Time Podcast Discord. If you want to check out the Shed Time Podcast Discord, you just got to become a patron, and you can come over there and hang out with all the other patrons that are in the Shed Time Podcast Discord. But yeah, I took that tolerance break, and for a solid week, I've been using only a Dynavap. And yesterday, I decided, all right, you know what, dude? Like, I got all these beautiful glass pieces. I'm gonna pack a little one up. So just take a couple little rips. You know, get a good little flavor rip. Dude, not even the first hit tasted good.
Told you.
Not even the first hit. I was shocked. I was like,
It's so bad.
I used to be able to taste this weed when I actually burned it in a pipe. And dude, now that it's been like a week straight of just nothing but a Dynavap, I can no longer combust my flower. I have to vape it to get that flavor.
Way. No
Bro,
way.
I can't do
Oh
it.
my God.
I can't do it. Like,
Dude,
literally.
I thought this day could happen, but I was like, you know what? Maybe Sean will be like that person that bucks the trend, but
Like,
I'm sorry, but I'm also like really happy.
Sorry,
for you, but
not
I'm
sorry.
Really sorry. Yeah. Like,
so yeah, like this is the fucked up thing, right? It's like it hurts my feelings just a teeny bit because again, I've got this massive glass collection, and I just rendered most of my pipes useless. That being said, I mean, so many ways you can outfit your Dynavap to work in a bong.
yep, that's true.
I have no shortage of other ways to use my Dynavap with my glass. So I guess that just means that my collecting is going to expand into bongs a little more because I can Dynavap through them.
Yeah, bongs and bubblers, bro.
You know, which is dope. There's nothing wrong with that. It keeps feeding that need to collect. But dude, a big part of it's been the fact that like I can use this thing, and because of this silicone, it never gets warm. So if I want to just, 2-3 little bowls through it, I can do that and get where I'm trying to go and never once feel that heat transfer into my hand. So I can just keep going. And we all know, I mean, well, the three of us know, and any of you listeners who do Dynavap, the more sessions you get into your cap, they'll just rowdier and rowdier the rips get.
Dude, the second bowl and hit is like, dude, that's why after two, normally I'm pretty good for like a little bit.
Yeah, bro.
Because like I'm like, yo, those were all pretty rowdy and I liked it.
that's another thing I'm loving is the fact that like using the B, it's half bowl status. So you're literally using such a small amount of flour to get where you're trying to go. And like I'm still getting the same high I would have gotten from the same number of hits out of a bowl. and I'm using way less
and
material
it
to do
tastes
it.
better, and you get way less of like a heavy chest. Like there's so many benefits, bro. But like this is the thing, right? Like if I'm out in public and like people are like getting high and I'm in a circle and I don't have my Dynamo, I'm not gonna be like, nah, I'm good, fam. Like I'm gonna fucking definitely like get high. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I might not regret it a little bit later on. At the time, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like if I was like chilling and you passed me a pipe and that was the way that I could get high, yeah, dude, I'll get high. Like I'm not like so beyond it. But if I ever have the option, I would much like rather
Yeah,
vape
like
it, right? Like, I think
if
that's
it's
what it
your
comes down to.
choice, if
Yeah.
it's your choice, you're vaping it, but you're not against, you know.
Yeah, I'm not an elitist to the point
Yeah,
of like,
I'm the
nah.
same way, dude. I'm the same way. Like if it were my choice, I would much rather vape my cannabis, whether it's concentrates or flower. I was actually having a conversation about this with some people the other day. I would 100% rather vape my flower any day of the week. But like you said, Chris, if I were to be around a group of buddies, like not too long ago when we went to the meetup, everybody was smoking doobs, bro. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be like, no, I don't want to fucking hit that, because that's how everybody else was vibing. So, you know, I did it for the weekend. But let me tell you, when I came home after that weekend, my throat was fucking brutal, bro, from
Yeah, you
all
probably
those
felt it.
J's, because
Yep.
I hadn't combusted that much in so long. Like a joint here or there was cool because, you know, I smoked one and then, you know, that was it for the day. But dude, we were smoking like 3 or 4 a night, you know, to our heads. You know, each one of us had our own. And dude, it was brutal by the end of it, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and like I just know like that's why I know, Sean, like all your shit's not like useless, even the stuff that you can't use it with the Dynavap. Like I think that there'll still be like those moments, and like they might come like, you know, fewer and further between, but like you'll still use them and like you'll still enjoy them at a certain level. It just might not be you'll never be able to enjoy them the way that you used to enjoy them as steadily. I think that's what it'll come down to.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like I'm a very flavor driven person with my weed. Like if the weed don't taste good, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with
Friends don't let friends smoke bunk weed, bro.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Exactly. You guys already know. And that's the problem, is that like set the scene for you. The honeybee. Love that piece. It's awesome. Super small bowl. Get maybe, if you're lucky, 4 hits to your face out of that bowl. So it was like a perfect flavor pipe as a pot smoker, right? You're able to just couple little hits in there, get them done. You get all flavor, no grossness. From hit number 1, it tasted like a cigarette. It didn't taste like terps at all. It just tasted like a cigarette. And I was like, dude, if this is what smoking weed tastes like to me now, I might actually turn it down.
But luckily, though, on the flip side of this, and you know, it may not go for every piece that you have, but for like that one specifically, luckily, that one's just a beautiful piece just to fucking look at. You know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like, it's just a night. Now, instead of it, you know, being a useful, functional pipe, now it's just a beautiful art piece that you can have up on your shelf, which of course, you know, is slightly
smoke hash though. I think I could. Over weed, I think I still could.
Hash has always had a little bit more flavor to it because of how it's more concentrated.
It's literally just the trichomes where all the flavor is. So absolutely.
So you could still use your pipes for that. You could try to, maybe.
Glass and hash doesn't really mix unless it's like a properly designed hash pipe. And let me tell you,
it's like a full melt hash.
Yeah, like finding a actual factual true hash pipe is difficult, man. A lot of people don't make them.
But hash pipes from back in the day were the shit. I took my first dab out of a hash pipe. I think I've told this story on the podcast before. But yeah, the old school hash pipes, bro, it's where it looks like a normal spoon, like your normal spoon pipe, like Sean showed multiple times here on the show. But instead of having your single hole at the bottom of the bowl and the spoon, they're on the sides of the bowl, and the bottom is completely, you know, like a cup. Like a cup. So you put your hash into the cup, heat like a little glass wand or a quartz wand, you know, like you would your quartz banger, and then you sit there and you push this glass wand down on top of your hash, and it vaporizes the hash, and vapor goes into the holes on the side of the bowl and then in. And dude, let me tell you what, bro, you can get some pretty gnarly fucking hits out of one of those bad boys, dude.
Oh, that's for sure.
100%.
Makes me think of the steamroller days.
Dude, it's funny because like I still have my 3-foot acrylic bong that ended up breaking at the bottom, so it doesn't hold water anymore.
And then you just turned it into a steamroller.
And like that's literally what I keep saying is I'm like literally all I gotta do is just cut this one little piece that's uneven off, and I have a fucking like 3-foot steamroller that can just hurt people.
Dynavap's out of a steamroller. You just brought that to my because you said a bong, so I'm guessing it's got a down stem. And I'm pretty sure you probably got some Dynavap with the fitting on it that could probably fit in that bad boy.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna do an experiment because I'm pretty sure my small one is right over here, and if it is, we're gonna try that. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go see if it's there, because if it is, we're gonna try this right
for science.
For science, exactly.
Fucking science.
I like it. Science is always good. I just also want to say, like, while Sean's away, like, I genuinely thought that this day would happen, but way further in the future. I was thinking, like, maybe 2023, 2024. It's fucking hilarious. You find it?
It was right where I thought it was. It was right where I thought it was.
It was meant to be, bro.
Oh man. And you know, this kind of era of acrylic bong was a 10 millimeter. So I mean the B is gonna fit flawlessly.
Dude.
And because it's silicone, you're gonna get a nice tight seal. So I'm just gonna quickly take a little paper towel here, just kind of wipe out the inside, make sure there's no like loosey grossness that could fucking fly in my throat, because that is never pleasant.
Yeah.
And with the pressure you get out of one of these things, yeah. Talk about banana stickers, right? For the people who know about the prevalence of banana stickers. Tell me that's not one of the coolest looking fucking banana stickers you've ever seen.
It looks like a.
It's like a wrestling. It's like a wrestling mask.
It kind of looks like a luchador mask.
Yeah,
dude. Mask.
It's a luchador wrestling mask, and it like,
dude, and that was on a banana.
That was on a banana. This was like I don't remember what brand, but yeah, that's a fucking banana sticker. And I saw that off my banana. Was like, yeah, I got to like this guy.
Chiquita Bananas got fucking just trashed by that sticker, just right there, one
for
shot.
Real.
Kill shop.
This thing's got some crazy stickers because like this is from back when I was first starting out doing the hardcore horror rap shit. You got a hello sticker, but it's hello unbaked, and of course the homies La Coca Nostra. That was always a good live show. Yeah, that was House of Pain and Slain and Ill Bill. So that was fucking cool as hell when I got to do that show and get that sticker from them. So of course I had to end up on a bong. So let's
dude,
see.
Is there a hole in the bottom of that?
Yeah. That's what makes it into a steamroller.
Yeah, so that's how this
makes
whole
it just
thing works.
A straight pipe. You cover it the bottom with your hand. You fucking hit it, and then when you're done to clear it, you just move your hand and just
like it's a massive choke.
Yeah, so like basically the whole bottom's your carb, and so now when we remove the hand, it's just an uninhibited blast of goodness.
Dude, I always loved like bongs with big chokes because that shit would happen. Like you just like see, you'd have like that like crazy milky like just,
and then as soon as you let it go, bro,
it's just like boom. Dude, it is like literally like shotgunning like a huge ass beer.
100%, dude.
All right, so
which I always fucking loved. Like when I used to drink like socially, which is basically what I always was, like a social drinker, but I just get smashed and get fucking carried away all the time. I used to fucking love going to parties with like
Cheers, Sean.
We'll say like 6 tall boys, and then like I'd have like basically like a 1 liter like can of beer that I would like shotgun. Like after I was like halfway through the night, I'd just like shotgun like 1 liters of beer. I actually remember like doing it like not so often, but like often enough. Like when I was in my later years of high school, I guess. And like me and my one buddy, we used to do it all the time. And I remember one night, like we both simultaneously like tried to do back-to-back 950 cans, and we ended up just like puking foam like crazy. Like it probably looked like we were about to explode from the inside out. But did you try to do that like with 2 liters of beer? Like that's fucking next level. Like
it reminds me of this thing that I did this one time at a buddy's house. It's called a beer stick, bro. Basically what it is it's a syringe that you fill with beers. And then you put the fucking, and then you push the back of the syringe to the back of to a wall, and you push the thing down, and then it fucking like shotguns the shit down, right? I did 3 beers in 2 seconds out of that fucking beer stick.
Like that, if that beer stick could hold that many beers. Whoa, dude, that's go time.
Yeah,
I would even try that right now just for like fun. Like, dude, I probably would.
That's the only reason why I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Dude, talk about I had the craziest fucking burps, bro. After that, yeah. I was like, dude, it just so
it probably sounded like you're fucking just like demonic
dude, it sounded like a demon was trying to escape my soul. But yeah, dude,
the power of Christ compels you. Like that's what I would have been saying over top.
Dude, it was intense, bro.
Man, you know what? I honestly like it's funny, like how I don't know, maybe it's like not funny, but like it's a feeling when you like look back at things you've done in your life, right? And like how you might not do them now, but at the time, like there was no better decision to be made, you know? Like and a lot of them have to do with like drinking or just like overall consumption, I would say. And sometimes I really like it, man. Like yesterday I like saw a bunch of people that I've known for like 30 years, close to 30 years, I guess. And just like whenever you're around people that you've known for that long, regardless of like how much you talk over the years, but you kind of like have some level of consistency, like you might see them once a year. But you just like you'll leave chilling with them and you're just been living in the past so hard for like that whole time. Even if you're talking about like relevant things in your lives, it's like you're just living in the past because you get all these memories that just get jogged and they're just like living in your brain again. Like they're brought from the depths and you get to like relive them, sort of, not really, but you kind of do. And then it's just like that good feeling. And that's like what happened to me yesterday. And so that's why I can like literally probably remember like 30 or 40 extra stories fresh in my brain of like just dumb shit I did when I was like 15 to 25.
Dude. It's funny you talk about like that kind of dumb shit. I remember doing something similar, but again, weed related, and again a steamroller situation where I remember us having bunk weed. Like, you know, this is back in the day when, you know, you're like 15 and sometimes all you can get your hands on is the fucking dirty brick
you just
weed.
get like pure swag.
Yeah. Right? And so we were like, well, how are we going to get stoned? We got to take like the biggest, meanest hits we can possibly take in order to get stoned from this trash weed. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to give us a headache. So somebody was like, yo, you know, Alicia got that 6-footer, right? Like her mom got a 6-foot bong in the closet. Okay, you have my attention. So we ended up going over to this girl's house, and rather than put water in the bong and use it as a bong, we took the bottom cap off and decided to use it as a steamroller for this dirty ass weed. So we ended up fucking having to stand up like on top of the couch or a chair or something, and we were pushing the bottom of the bong into the floor. A friend would light it, we would milk it, and then you would have to just pick up the bong off the floor and inhale. And then would come this just 6-foot wall of fucking smoke right into your lungs. You'd cry because it hurt.
My chest is burning right now.
Yep. And
dude, I remember DK. Do you guys remember though? Like, just because you made me think about it. So it's like obviously a big bong story, but like even like not huge bong stories is like, I used to fucking hate like sitting and having a session with people that like couldn't finish their bowl and clear the chamber. It used to fucking drive me nuts, bro.
Dude.
And like you'd see some people that would be like literally they'd take like a full breath and like they wouldn't even have fully like brewed it, and then they take another breath and they're like just finishing brewing, and then they just end up passing you the bong, like, and they've barely even got any of the smoke. I'd be like, what are you doing?
I hated the dude. I used to talk so much shit when you'd have the guy that would sit there. He'd sit there and take a hit to milk it, and then take another hit to clear it. You know what I mean? Like he didn't do it all in one go. Like he'd do the 2 breath method. I'm like, bro, no, you milk it and then pull it 1 breath, bro.
Yeah, that's when get that fucking milk deep,
dude.
That's the whole
fucking around, man.
What are you doing?
I don't know, man. I will argue in defense of that person because I've sat there and like just for pure science tried both.
When I'm by myself, I totally do that.
There's definitely a reason, you get some.
The reason why I say that when you're smoking with the buddy is because they end up getting a bigger hit than anybody else because they're using their full lung capacity to milk it up when you're only using half.
Well, that's your fault, not his.
No, man,
you're using bad technique.
No, dude. That's how you make the bowl go around and everybody get a hit. Not everybody. Don't burn it out all at once, man. If you're gonna do that.
No, see, like I was always like of the circles, like where you guys know the bong I used to rock. Like you just get that bowl, you'd pack the bowl you wanted, you'd like smoke it, clear it, and pass it to the next.
But yeah, when you would have to pull the bowl out and blow into the down stem to get all the rest of the fucking smoke out before you hit it, I used to hate that shit.
Can't stand that.
Yeah, dude. So that's why you just clear it. Clear your shit, bro.
Yeah.
I could understand like if you do it all and like you said, you do it all, you like milk it, then you clear it.
Yeah,
and then if you have to do a secondary
that was just
slight clear, then that's what you do. Like that's a part of like etiquette. That's like we're getting down to like dope smoking etiquette right now, and like some people fucking suck at that.
Because still smoking the bong is the worst, man.
100%. Like that's why you die.
To fucking blow into a bong. Like nobody wants to pull the bong off and then like why do you? I don't want to do that. I don't care how clean it is. I don't need to do that. Just fucking pass it to me empty. It's not that hard. You're there to get high. You're there to smoke weed. Like just fucking do it.
That's like the dude who always had the wet lip. Whenever you had something rolled up, or even in the bong, like I've had a motherfucker pass me like a wet bong, and I'm like, "What is wrong with you? You do not put your whole mouth around the bong and get the fucking mouthpiece of the bong wet. Never mind, like, what are you doing? Sitting there and then hitting the joint or the blunt. Like, stop that. Stop it. I don't want to French kiss you when I get the blunt. Or the bong, or the bong,
it's like cigarettes, man. If you like someone be like, "Yo, can I get like a drag off your smoking?" You knew them or whatever. Like, you give it to them. If they juiced your smoke, bro, I'd be like, just keep it. I grab another one in my pack and smoke it. I'd be like, you're fucking trash. Like, who fucking spits all over someone's cigarette? Like, I don't even get it.
Yes,
dude. That happened to me so many times from a buddy that at a certain point I'd be like, "No, bro, I'll let you have the end of it. When I'm done with it, you can have it, but no." Because dude, that was same thing with like the fucking joints. Sometimes I'm like, "Bro, you fucking get this shit all wet every time I hand it to you, so I'll hand it to you when I'm done with it and you can finish it." But nah, because I ain't doing that shit, bro. It's disgusting, bro. It's just gross.
It's unnecessary. I think that's also it. It's like,
why you don't need to put it that far in your mouth, and you don't need to be licking the shit. You know what I mean?
Just like,
licked once to seal it. That's enough for me. You know what I mean? I'm already kind of weirded on that when somebody else rolls a joint and gets it like
smoking it, bro. They're smoking it.
Yeah,
you're smoking that. Like you're not getting it all up in your face. Like they're not like soaking like the filter. Like even if it's a cardboard filter, like they lick the tiniest bit there. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, depending on the person, because I used to.
Yeah, dude. Some people would just baptize it, and they just like go to light it, and they just like put the whole joint in their mouth, pull it out, and then they'd fucking spark it. Like I was never really even against that. To be honest with you, I never even thought about that shit. I never cared. Shit bothered me would be like, yo, I just like hit this bong and then they pass it to you with like ash in it. Or like people would like hit a bong that passed you with the smoke in it. Or like people pass you a pipe that was clogged and they didn't say shit. And then you get it and you're like, this is awful and it's fucking clogged. Like, what are you fucking doing? Like those are the kind of bullshit things I used to
Yeah,
fucking-
that's another great point. I could not stand the homie that always like overpacked the piece so that like you literally had
Could
to
not
have
hit it,
lungs
yeah.
of steel to try to get that thing to light. Like, bro, just pack 2 fucking bowls. Don't try to jam all that weed in one. We'll get twice as high because we smoked 2 fucking bowls, idiot. Like, but it burns longer. No, it doesn't. We create a shit ton of resin that we can't fucking smoke through, and it tastes like asshole after hit number 3.
I was always in the class of smaller bowls, just more of them.
Yeah, dude. I think
They
that's like the
taste
smart
better.
move.
They taste better. You actually burn it more. You know what I mean? Because like it's like the same thing with the Dynavap, bro. If you don't pack your Dynavap super fucking tight, it vaporizes so much fucking better. You know what I mean? You actually get, I feel like it vaporizes more evenly because I can't count how many times at the beginning when I used to like, I thought I had to really pack it the first few times. And like I'd get to the end of what I thought was the cycle because it wouldn't taste that good, empty the bowl, and the last half of it still had like some green to it. And I'm like, oh, well, that little bit got wasted. But now learned a few tricks. I used the old straw method. If you guys aren't doing that, highly recommend it because it packs it perfectly every time. Just fucking
See, I
cover
don't
up
do
your
that,
carb.
but like I'm not.
You
saying
do
that it
a
doesn't
very
work.
light method though too, because you just do a little scoop.
I
and
do
like,
I make sure
just
and
do
I
a little
just scoop
scoop
it
and
right out of my
flatten.
grinder, and then I
Yeah.
just like will just touch the top, so like when I put it on, it's not.
Yeah,
knocking
so it's not
anything
like
off. That's
falling out when you put the
But
cap
it is
on.
overall loose, yeah. Because like after you're done, it's like down like a millimeter or 2 from like
Yeah.
where it was. It just
Exactly.
kind of like shrinks a little bit
Because
on
it compresses as it vaporizes down.
But you almost want to take your cap off, and when you go to like dump it, you want to be able to just kind of like tap that thing, and everything just falls out. If you got to literally dig it out with the cap, you've
Yeah.
probably gone a little bit.
Because usually
too
what
tight.
I'll do is just do a little quick little whoop around the side, and usually the whole thing will just be boop, fall out.
Not only that, but I mean, like I would call it chestnut, right? Like that's like a nice chestnut brown, and like I don't like to push it to the black. I've done it. You could definitely get a couple more hits probably out of my spent material, but I'm looking for that just nice chestnut brown color. Like
Yeah, like I think that if you looked at so like I keep all my shit in like an old Tim Hortons cup, right? So like obviously it's gonna be hard to see, and I also throw like other trash in there. But like it's all kind of like that goldeny brown.
Yeah, it's like that
right?
chestnutty kind of.
I like mine to be dark. The darker the brown, the better, without it being black. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
When I
sometimes you'll
when
see
it looks
that-
real like light, like almost like a real tan color. You know what I mean? Where it's not too brown. It's more of just like a slightish yellowish tan color. You know what I'm saying? It's like that in between. I was like, no, I could probably get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, I
Dude,
could have got one more heat cycle.
I'm one of the we say this quite a bit here on the show, or at least we've said it before, waste not, want not, you know? So it's like I try to get every little bit out of it as I can. Because, dude, honestly, even when it's pretty done, it still tastes better than when you're burning it. You know what I mean? It just kind of tastes a little nutty. That's what I find. Like that's when I know my bowl's done, because it gets kind of like tastes a little nutty more than herbally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like a roasted almond or like peanut sort of flavor.
I usually describe it as almost like burnt popcorn.
Or yeah, or kind of, yeah.
Like if you've overcooked your
Or
popcorn,
just like the kernel, like
You
a
know,
kernel
yeah,
at the
like,
bottom of the bag.
it's got
That's
this
kind of
like
what it tastes like.
funky popcorn taste, and you're like, all right, that's
No,
done.
it's
Non-buttered popcorn.
Yeah, dude. Yo, speaking of popcorn, have you seen all the weird fucking popcorn flavors now? There's like cinnamon toast crunch popcorn, fucking cocoa puff popcorn, fucking rainbow
like
something or other.
Is it like the pre-pop shit in like the bag? Or
yeah,
is it
dude. Yeah, like it's.
No.
I'm like,
I
y'all are
haven't seen
going a
that.
little bit far, I think, at that point. Like,
Well,
I don't
think when you think about it, dude. like it is pretty intense, like with like the fucking cereal, different cereal flavors and shit. But like I've always seen like different flavored popcorns. I've had a few different flavored popcorns in the past. Most of them are like kind of like that candy caramel sort of variation, where it's like a strawberry or like a chocolate or
Yeah, see, like that's weird to
more.
me. Like I can kind of get behind
It's
like
different,
caramel
dude.
and butterscotch.
It's different, bro, because it's like it's more of like the sweet, sugary
Yeah,
side,
that's
and
why it's
it's
like
not
weird
like
for
the
me.
salt, like you know, because I like salt and butter on my popcorn, bro. Like I love like movie theater popcorn is probably my favorite. Like, dude, I saw this shout out to DJ Slim. Saw him post something the other day about he went down to AMC because he loves the popcorn so much and just got a big ass like fucking 5-pound bag of popcorn, bro. This like
Yeah.
legit AMC movie theater popcorn just to munch on at the house. I was like, dude, that's pretty fucking
He's a
legit, dude.
savage. He shout
Dude,
out to him. He just performed at the Boston Freedom Rally yesterday.
have
Nice,
you
dude.
guys
Shout outs to
seen
DJ
like those
Slim,
like
man.
at home fucking air pop popper things that are kind of like the movie theaters, but they're like a countertop version?
Yep.
Oh, we used to have one when we were
Dude, I
younger.
always wanted one of those, but like I knew that number one, my teeth would be just even more fucking rough, and number two, like I would eat fucking goddamn popcorn every goddamn day.
Dude,
Well, that's the weird
Because
popcorn's one
like
of
thing.
those.
movie style popcorn
I
is
can't
so
eat
good,
popcorn that
dude.
much anymore, bro, because I hate when it gets stuck in my teeth and shit. And
Yeah, it's like
it's
guaranteed a
brutal.
floss, like at least like a 5 minute floss for me every time I eat popcorn.
Yeah, and
But I still
flossing's
do
one of
it.
like
I
the bane
just,
of my existences. I hate flossing.
dude, you just
So
need the
it's like
banjos,
I just
bro.
do it at the well, even then, like I just don't like it, bro.
I don't love it, but like I've just learned to accept it.
I do it, but I do it because I have to, but dude, I just hate it, man. So it's like if I don't, if I can go through the day without having to do like an extra round of flossing, fuck yeah, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'll wait till like, you know, maybe towards the end of the day. I know you don't eat your popcorn at the end of the day because you say if just by then it's just like no. Fuck
Yeah, like I do
By
that.
10
I
now.
have to eat it before dinner even. Like
And I only really eat popcorn now when I go to the movies. That's like
I would never eat
that's
popcorn then,
that's
dude.
the
I haven't
only
been to the
time.
movies for so long. Like I was trying to think, and I know that this isn't the last movie, but this is probably like within the last 3 movies that I've seen in the theater was fucking Avatar, boys. Like
Dude,
I
that
never
was
go to the
so
fucking.
long ago, bro.
Oh yeah. It was like before my buddy
Dude,
was even married. I remember
I
me, him, and his
understand it.
girlfriend, and another girl went.
See, it's the movie theater is like a thing that me and my dad do. And you know, like when a new movie comes out, I'll just be like, hey, you want to go to the movies? Me and my dad will either go grab some lunch beforehand and then we'll hit a fucking movie, grab some popcorn, fucking just hang out. He's like my I take him to go see all the Marvel shit.
Dude, honestly, you know what's I'm kind of jealous of that because like I'm pretty sure that the only movie that I can ever remember going to see with my dad, other than like when I was like a little kid, was I think that it might have been Casino Royale. Is that the new whatever the newest Daniel Craig or the oldest Daniel Craig movie is? We went to see that in theaters. Was that Casino Royale
It
or
could have been.
no?
Yeah, I don't
Whatever
know.
whatever the oldest Daniel Craig, the first Daniel Craig Bond movie was, we went and saw that together. And I feel like I was in my like mid-20s, like at the youngest, which would
Yeah,
be like over 15 years ago, I would say.
it's something that I try to keep going, man, because it's like kind of like a bonding time for me and my dad, you
Well,
know.
plus it means that you don't have to worry about finding other people to go to the movies with. You don't have to go by yourself. I would never go, like, not even
Oh,
for
dude.
like just the look of it. Like I like to talk about things after they're done. And if I went there by myself, I'd be like, all
Dude,
right,
I
well, who
used
do
to
I
go
talk to
to the
now?
movies by myself all the time, bro.
Yeah, like for me, it's like that social. I need to get out my thoughts fresh with somebody that just experienced what I experienced. And like otherwise it doesn't feel right to me. It's weird.
It was weird, dude, because there's a point in time where I used to go and do a lot of shit by myself. I just kind of was like a fucking loner for a while. I think it was really before I kind of got involved with the vape community and stuff. I kind of broke off from the friend group I was in because, you know, just getting into a bunch of shit and just drama that I didn't need at the time. So I just started hanging out by myself. And on Tuesdays, the Cinemark out here, it has like $5 movies or some shit. Like it was cheap tickets. So I get off of work on Tuesday and just go catch a fucking movie. This is all before like COVID and shit.
Yeah,
And then after a while, I was like, you know what?
2018, obviously.
And then my dad's work schedule changed to where like he'd be home around that time. So I'd be like, shit, well, why not see if Pops wants to go? So then I started taking my dad to the movies and shit. And it's been like a thing now. And it's cool, man. Cause like me and my dad don't do a whole lot of stuff together that much anymore. And it's like the one thing that we continue to do. And it's cool. Because it used to be like me and my brother, but since my brother got married and, you know, moved, I don't really see him too much anymore. So we don't really go do things all that often. Which kind of bums me out from time to time.
If we had a better movie theater closer to me, I think I might be more apt to doing it. But like, I've just got like a basic movie theater here. You know, you could buy some popcorn or a soda or some candy, and you can go watch a movie, right? But like, if I want to travel, like to go to one of the nice ones, dude, like I know that there's one where like you can literally get movie tickets and then buy like real food and have like an actual meal while you're watching the movie at the theater.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking cool.
There's an actual bar at the movie theater I go to. They have like a little bar where you can like order beers and shit.
Like I would love to be able to like
seats,
do something like that, like grab a beer and some like hot wings or something, and then be able to like sit at my little seat up there and just watch the movie, enjoy the movie, eat some hot wings, enjoy a beer, kick it with my, you know, with the homies or whatever. I think that would be badass. It's just the closest one that does that for me is like an hour and a half to 2 hours away, whereas the run of the mill basic ass movie theater is 7 minutes away.
Really, dude? Boston doesn't have those?
I'm an hour away from Boston, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so like I have to travel, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's a day.
Yeah,
it's
like you exactly you have to make a whole trip of it. There has to be more than the movie. The movie has to be just part of the whole experience for sure.
Yeah, it's like
to do that.
Someplace you always wanted to eat, or
yeah, like Foxborough, or over by the Patriot Stadium. There, they've got a beautiful one there. They've even got a bowling alley like that where it's like high end pub grub type of situation and a bowling alley. So like,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I would vibe to that.
They even do like live concerts and shit there. Meanwhile, right, my mall where that basic ass movie theater is also has a bowling alley that's a pub style place. Only problem is their bowling alley isn't like legit bowling. Like the pins are tied to strings. So like, yeah, like it's not legit. Like if you really try to bowl there, like a real bowler knows how to bowl and like really throw that rock down the lane, you literally break the machines. So you can't actually bowl. You just kind of have to like kid bowl, so to speak. And then the food's not good. So it's like, no point in that. But yeah, like you go to that Foxborough one, that place. Like that's where you go if you want to buy like Gucci and Hermes and then go like eat that kind of food, watch a movie in that kind of a theater, and then maybe, you know, taking a Pats game if you're into that sort of thing. Like that's one of those kind of situations. I actually went up there once for a concert at the stadium, and let me tell you, concerts in football stadiums, terrible. Not good. Maybe if you're like somebody who gets like tickets on the field, but like when you're in the stadium stands, man, the audio just, you get nothing but like the bass. It's all you hear. You barely hear like the vocals, the guitars, the keys, whatever. Like it's so hard to hear because it's all concrete. It's not designed to make
the acoustics are terrible.
Yeah, it's designed to make the noise louder.
Arenas were terrible for that. Like arena, like not even necessarily like huge ass stadiums, like just arenas in general.
Depending on the arena.
I don't know. Anyone that I've been to, mind you, like I've only been to ones like up here.
Dude, I hear like the Red Rocks Arena is like pretty fucking spectacular because the way that it like sits within like the rock like helps with the acoustic.
I don't think that's what.
I'm talking about like an NBA arena or like an NHL.
Oh, you're talking.
I was like, I don't think that's what Uncle Chris meant. Yeah, because Red Rocks is special.
Yeah, that's like an amphitheater though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know, I'm stoned. So
no, you're good. But yeah, no, I'm talking about like if I went to go watch like
they're not
at
built
the Staples Center or like I went to like Madison Square Gardens or whatever, right? Like those ideas, like I can't imagine they ever sound good, because like I've been to multiple ones like up here, and dude, they always sound so like the only thing you get is like you get the feeling of the crowd, and like you will know what song they're playing. Like that's kind of like the most that you're going to get, because you're not going to get good sound. You're not going to get that feeling of like, man, everything sounded so good, they killed it. It's like not like that.
See, I've been in that scenario, but I was in the crowd on the floor, and that was
probably
good
feels
sound.
more normal.
Yeah, that is proper sound, because I mean at that rate you're not listening to the audio system of the amphitheater, or not the amphitheater, the arena. You're hearing the amplifiers, the live drums, that sort of thing, really.
And there's no delay and no bouncing off anything because you're right there.
Right. But like I'm certain, because I mean I've even been in some nightclubs that have like 2 floors, and if you're on the second floor, the audio's usually not that good. You're barely hearing the music clearly. It sounds like someone's playing a loud radio in the other room, basically. So yeah, and like that's even in a nightclub where the idea is to do live shows and live sound, but it's just like one of those incidental things. Like when you have a second level and then even more levels, like in those kind of like sports arenas, the higher you're gonna get, the worse that sound's gonna be. Really, I mean, you want the best sound anywhere at any show ever, find where the mixing booth is. Sit right in front of the mixing booth.
Yeah, see, I always like heard that because they're the ones that are making the show sound the way that it sounds. So like their perspective is going to be the most optimum spot.
Mm-hmm.
If they're good at their job, then yeah, for sure.
And that's the catch, 100%. If they're good, I remember friends of mine doing a show, and this venue has 2 rooms. So there's the downstairs theater and the upstairs space. And when you play the upstairs, you're obviously not on the level of getting the best of the best. You got, some guy who just kind of phones it in. And it was crazy because this was a 4-man rap group. So they're running 4 microphones, and obviously they're rapping back and forth. So to mix a show like that with those kind of people, you do have to pay attention to who is rapping. That way you can bring the other mics down a little bit, let their mic come up a little bit. That way everybody hears it correctly. And I remember being at this show with them and standing at the mic booth or at the mixing booth right in front of it, and the dude wasn't doing anything. And so like you could barely hear the dudes when certain people rapped. And so to be a smart ass, because I know what I know, there are applications for cell phones that will show you an audio spectrum of what you're hearing. And so I just held it up and watched it to try to get him to realize that his mix sounded like absolute dog shit. And of course he just kept staring at his phone and texting the chick that he's trying to probably bang, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he didn't even ever notice, but like we were able to watch the audio spectrum and be like, dude, like he needs to fucking bring this down, bring that up a little bit, and he'd be fine, but you can't hear anything. It sounds like we're fucking listening to these guys underwater. But dude, obviously,
it's like a slightly less subtle. Hey, I'm gonna tell you you're doing shit wrong without telling you you're doing shit wrong.
It was almost one of those times I wanted to walk up to him and be like, "Hey, bud, you want to just take a break? I'll mix these guys. Like I know their music better than you.
Let me do a song, and we'll see what you think about it.
Like, watch me,
dude. I used to love I was never really that guy, but like if I knew how to do something, sometimes I used to like love people struggling to do it and then never asking for help, because like there'd be a time in my life where I'd be like, hey, yo, like I got a couple of tricks to like help you if you want, and like getting shit on by people to then just realizing like, whatever, dude, I'll just like wait till they fail, give up, and then I'll just swoop in, save the day, because that feels better than just shitting on them. But I always like wondered how people like ever hope to grow if they're in those spots, like they're just oblivious. Like obviously that dude was just there for a paycheck, right? He didn't give a fuck. He's like that guy that we've talked about, their person that we talked about that works in vape shops too, right? Like, or even like in head shops, or like even dispensaries at this point. Like people could just come in and like they don't read the room. They're just there to fucking cash a paycheck, and they're like, yo, what are you looking for? And be like, yeah, why don't you just get this? And like that's it. There'll be like no reason. It won't be like, hey, yeah, like what do you expect from this or whatever. They just like they're mailing it in basically, right? And those people, like I feel sad for them because number one, you can't be enjoying what you're doing. And number two, like how are you ever gonna fucking grow if like you're just fucking mailing it in all the time? Like you can't. Like you're just in a fucking big old rut. Get out of the game, you know?
I mean,
Like that's like the vibe that I always have when people are like that.
the weird thing is though is that like from another perspective, I've been in the situation where several customers, using the retail example, that's what they want from their salesperson. They don't want to make a decision. They don't want to answer questions. They just want, they just want to be told what to do. And that's somewhere I fall short, right? Because like I'm the, what do you want to do? What are you into? What aren't you into? Blah, blah, blah. When are you going to use it? And some people are just like, will you just shut the fuck up and sell me the thing? And it's like, but it's more to me than just selling you the thing. Like, what do you want to buy? It's like, you can't win them all. You can't win them all, right? Because
no, you can't.
Because like at the end of the day, like I guess in some cases we need the guy who's just there to phone it in, because some people want to only deal with that guy, and then some people want the guys like you and me who are detail oriented and want to give the best experience possible. Yeah. And so we want to, do the right thing, ask the right questions, get the input to give the right feedback. Some people love that, some people hate that, and I guess that's why there's so many different personality types in this world, because there's a little something for everybody. And then there's just plain assholes like pedophiles. Yeah. They can just burn in hell.
Well, dude, just like, because there's ways you can, treat those situations. Like, even if you're like the person behind the counter, like I get it. You don't always have to be that guy that's like trying to like school people on shit or like open their fucking mind on something. Sometimes you can just be as simple as like, oh yeah, do you know what you're looking for today? And if they're like, yep, then I say, okay, cool, yeah, what's that, And that's that interaction. That's easy. If that's too difficult for you, like you need to stay at home and order your shit online, because like you're not meant to go out in public. But like if you're like, yeah, like I'm looking for this, I'd be like, oh, well, we also have this. It's also kind of similar to that. And I think that there's certain things that you might enjoy. And you kind of like go into that kind of a pitch. Like I get that that's too much for some people. Some people like myself, I'd be like, yo, I really like what this person's talking about. Like I might try that, but I'm still going to get what I came for. But I might try a little bit of that just because the next time maybe I'll be like, yo, that's real good. And I'll fucking get more. So like for me, I appreciate that second, but I also understand that there are people that need that first one. But like I said, if that first interaction of like, hey, yeah, like, do you know what you're looking for? And that person says yes, and they tell them, and then that interaction is done. If that is too much for you, stay home. Order shit online. That's it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't expect everybody to be able to fucking hit. Like that's just too much.
That's the weird thing, right? Is like a lot of people have lost the art of human interaction. Like I know I'm not good at it half the time anymore. It's like I don't know how to make small talk. People want to talk about dumb shit, and I'm like, have you ever thought about the paradox of how all we do is work to live and live to work? And they're like, you're crazy. Get a therapist. I'm like, sorry, I just don't know how to do small talk. I'm not good at this. I can't talk about the weather. Yeah, it's weathering outside. I can't control that. Neither can you. Next topic. But I'm the asshole.
Yeah, like you know what? Like there's like certain levels, right? Like because I'm sure that at this point, Sean, you've been working at your place of employment for like a while, right? And so like you know a lot of people, and like there's it seems like you guys are pretty successful. So that means that there's going to be a lot of clientele, and I'm sure that at this point, that there's some that you actually see them walk through the door, and you're like, nice, this is going to be good. Like I know that I don't have to work hard right now. I know that I'm not going to feel weird after this
This is
conversation.
gonna be a nice interaction.
Yeah.
Cool, sweet.
And then there's other times you see people come in and you're like, okay, I know
Fuck
I
this
have to
guy,
be like
man.
this with this person because I went another angle last time and all I did was piss me off. So like, I'm gonna just fucking roll like this, right? So you constantly have that, and like that is like one of those things that I think that like sales people or like just people that work in like the customer service industry, like a lot of people don't give them that credit if like they're good at their job and they have the ability to be like kind of that chameleon, right? Like they can be whatever they need for that moment after you've kind of built up relationships with customers. And when you get those experiences, like I genuinely do feel that because like you see people that try to react to every situation the same, and like that always doesn't feel good, in my opinion. Like unless you're like the 1 in 100 people that like is okay with the way that they're acting, like, I would much rather have like a catered experience, but I don't even expect like some next level shit. I just don't want to like get taught to like I'm dumb if I come in like and I understand what I'm talking about, or I don't want to get told what I need to get, even though I asked for something completely different. Like those are the things that like I don't like when you go to a store or like going anywhere, like if it's like a fucking dispensary, vape shop, a fucking a butcher, for God's sakes, like anything like that. I just hate being told what I want, especially because like I'm one of those people that tries to do some level of research before I go somewhere and buy something because like I'm spending my money. I should have some idea of like what is going on. And so when I just get like told, just fucking buy this. This is the best, whatever. That shit annoys me. But for some people, it works,
Dude,
right?
you know when it really annoys me, Chris, is when I've done like you've done and I've done my research or I kind of already have an idea of what I want and they tell me, "Oh, buy this." And it's some shit that I know is completely fucking bunk or completely opposite of what I originally even said I was looking for, and that just makes me be like, "You really don't know fucking anything about what you're doing here, do you?"
It's like read the room,
You
bro.
know what I mean? And it's like, like I get it. Like we said, some people are just at a spot just for a paycheck. But at the same time, it just makes me be like, man, you really don't give a shit about your fucking job. You know what I mean? Not even enough to like do a little research. You know what I mean? Like, damn.
Well, like the
It's
other
kind of like,
shitty,
it's kind of a bummer, dude. You know what I mean?
the other shitty
Oh, it
thing is
is
that
fun.
like you have like pressure sales, right? Like people with like these things behind the scenes where it's like, listen, like
Oh,
you
yeah,
need to
we got
move
this. We need to push
X
this.
units of this product per day,
And that I
you know,
understand. I can get it from that point of view. You know what I mean? But like when it's like
yeah,
even
like
there's
just don't
there's
lie
a
to me.
line.
Yeah, don't
there's
lie
a
to me.
line. Just
You
don't
know,
bullshit me, bro.
right?
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like,
You don't
hey,
have to bullshit me, dude. Like
to
we're cool.
to to
You
to
know?
take you know, Chris's point. It's like it's one of those where it's like, yeah, hey, we definitely can help you with that. But have you ever thought about trying this? It's a little different, but it's pretty cool
Yeah,
too.
that's different, bro.
Like
Cool.
that's the right
I'll
approach,
accept
right?
that. I'll accept that. But don't be like, oh, you're looking for that. Well, dude, we got this shit. And dude,
Yeah,
this is
like
the shit right now. Yada, yada, yada. Everybody's grabbing it. You know what I mean? It was flying off the shelves when in reality, they're trying to get it to fly off the shelves. And it's totally opposite. And it's actually
Like-
some bunk shit that's like old. You know what I mean?
I truly, yeah, like I truly hate that because like I've watched
Don't
people
do
do
that
it
to
where
me,
it's
bro.
like this is
I
like the
get you gotta
bottom of
get
the
this shit to
barrel.
move, but you don't have to do it like that. Be like, yo, we've got this stuff. It's been around for a minute. It's still pretty good, but hey, check it out, man, if you want. You know what I mean? And then at that point, I might be like, fuck it. You know what I mean? That might give me that, you know, all right, fuck it. Because hey, this guy's cool. He's just trying to move some shit. If it ain't something that's like crazy, I might just check it out. You know, I might and think about it more. But if you try to just push it to me and like I already know it's like you're just trying to push it just to move it, I'm like, all right, bro. So I'm not gonna ask you about any more shit. I guess I'm gonna have to look at the stuff now.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like people that would go into a car dealership and be like looking for like the fucking, you know, the Elantra.
Dude,
And the
I get
people
a
are like,
mix,
yo, so
bro.
like here's the deal. Like the Elantra's nice, don't get me wrong, but like the Genesis like sedan, like that's like really popular. And like I've not heard anybody. It's like, bro, that's like 3 times the car. Like, what are you fucking doing to me?
Mhm.
Like,
But dude, that's a totally different thing. I expect that from a car salesman. You know what I mean? Because like they're working off commission. If you're working at a fucking dispensary or a vape shop or a normal retail store, you ain't really making too much commission normally. You're normally hourly.
like
You know what I'm saying?
a good place you shouldn't be, right?
Yeah. But like I get a mix, dude, because like there's times I go to the dispensary and dude, I get somebody like you guys are saying that's kind of detail oriented where they actually ask questions where it's like, hey, what are you looking for? What do you normally do? You know, what do you use? You know what I mean? What are you like? What are you gonna dab? Because obviously I go straight to the dab counter most of the time. Oh well, what do you use? Are you like a Puffco guy? Do you like put in like a little pen? Do you use a rig? Okay, well, are you looking for sativa, indica, live resin? Are you more of a batter guy, a sauce guy? Like, and then there's sometimes where it's like, so what do you need? And then they just stand there.
Yeah, it's like all on you.
And then I'm just looking through the thing.
See, like I'm prepared
Trying
for
to
those
figure it out.
situations. You know what I mean? Personally, because like
Oh,
I'll
I
look
am
at
now
what they
too, bro,
have, right?
because
But
like at this point,
and
dude, I
that
already
you are,
know
right?
what I want.
But I think that just because you know what's up doesn't mean that like the next 5 people that come in know what's
Yeah.
up. And so
That's
like
what
that's
kind
them
of
just being shit at their job. Like you are not affected generally because like I'm not either. You know what I mean? If like that is the way, I might be like that person was a bit rude, but like I'm still walking out with something I know that's going to be good for what I want, right? The next 5 people though that deal with that same person, they might not walk away feeling that same way, and they might not either A, come back, or B, they might be like, yo, maybe I should not get this weed, like maybe that's not going to help me. And it's like all of a sudden like that could have been the time that they went in to try to get off of like pills or to try to like lower their anxiety or whatever, and like they just have some schmuck like that that's working there, and like it might delay them finding the usefulness of cannabis for a year, because like it takes them a year to like get that fucking drive to go back in and try it again. That those are the things I think that bother me the most about those people. It's not the people like us that understand, it's the people that have the most to gain and are coming in without any knowledge, which is slightly on them. I appreciate that, but like if
But
you want to
as
learn about something, some
But at
people
a
want to go to
certain point,
places
if
to
you go,
learn.
yeah, if you go to a place that sells the product, you expect them to know a little something about what they're selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd hope so. Like that should, like a
Especially if
lot of
you're
people,
new,
that would be
because
like
dude,
where they're gonna find shit
not
out.
everybody's like us and dives in and does a whole bunch of fucking research and shit before they get into something. You know what I mean? Some people, they do the research as they get into it, sort of thing, and they hope to learn from people that they talk to through their experience. And
So there's a conundrum to all of this, though. And
yeah,
this is something that, like, from my perspective and experience doing it for a living, we have a society where therapies of any kind are this is what you do and this is what happens situation. You take this pill, this will be your result. You do this yoga, this will be your result, whatever it might be. The problem is the way that cannabis and the human body work is completely different for everybody. And that literally blows people's fucking minds when you try to explain to them that here's the thing: what works for me may not work for you, but may also work for him, but may make things way worse for her.
Mhm.
So that's the part that literally creates this weird conundrum just for cannabis, because like alcohol, right? You drink alcohol, you feel drunk. That's not always the case with weed. Certain weed, you don't feel the high that you associate as being high. For some people, like a sativa doesn't even do anything. There was a time in my life I could smoke a pound of sour diesel and feel sober. It just had zero effect for me. And yet I found Tangy literally makes me crawl out of my skin. I'm too fucking crazy. So it's like there are levels to this shit, and that is very difficult for that brand new consumer, because they're coming from a place where again, you take this pill, this will be the effect.
It's a very nuanced thing, for sure, dude, and it's very like person to person. But at the same time, to like what you're saying too, Sean, it's just like that's the part where each person kind of at a certain point they do have to take it into their own hands. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we do kind of hope that there's somebody that can at least drop a little gems of some knowledge to kind of help you along the way.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the basic knowledge should be there, right? Indica sativa hybrid.
Yeah, well, it's like look
how
at
edibles work, how tinctures work. Like all these things should be basic knowledge that you can share with anybody at any time if you're going to be in an industry.
Take this for instance, like one of our patrons, you know what I mean, hasn't consumed in some time, you know what I mean, but through the process of listening to us here on the podcast and us having different conversations and stuff, grabbed himself something that he's heard us talk about and was interested in trying, you know, does the steps perfectly, you know what I mean? He's like, this is what I'm looking for. You know, I want live resin, solventless. That's what I'm gonna go for. And it picks one up, tries it, loves it. You know what I mean? It's exactly what he was looking for, not too heavy either way. And I was like, dude, like that's awesome, you know what I mean? And those are the things that I would just wish could happen more in the shops, you know what I mean? And that's just, you know, from having, you know, conversations. And I feel like I don't have enough conversations with a lot of bud tenders, because there are some where I'll sit there for a good 5-10 minutes and just chop it up amongst the time I'm picking shit out. And I love those interactions, love them. But then there's times where I'm literally in there, I want this, and that, and I'm out. You know what I mean? So it's like give or take.
Yeah, like I get that. It's the same way with any business, right? Like I go to a convenience store pretty regularly to grab, you know, a snack or a drink, you know, on a break at work. And like I know some of their staff by name now. They know me by name now. And I'm just there to grab a soda and I'm shooting the shit for 10 minutes with these guys about what's been going on in life and, you know, whatever. Maybe it's about weed, maybe it's about, just, work experiences that we've had, whatever it might be. But that you're right. That is one of those things that definitely makes the experience of interacting with anybody that little bit better, right? It's when people follow the golden rule: be cool, don't be a dick, right? That's all we're saying, right? Be cool, don't be a dick. You know, if you don't like the way that the rules work,
the board, man.
That's what I'm saying. You don't like the way the rules work in this store. Guess what? There's 27 other ones that provide the same service. Maybe one of them does it the way you like, and you can follow the rules just happily there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is, right? Like, if you don't like the fact that this Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have a drive-through, you go to a different Dunkin's that has one. You don't fucking blow your stack because why doesn't they need to open a drive? Like, no, you go to the one fucking less than a quarter mile down the road with the drive-through and you get your drive-through coffee, you know, like,
where your interaction is like, I'll take 1 cream, 1 sugar, drive up, tap with your fucking card or whatever, and then just dip. You can say thank you because that's polite, and like that's it. If you can't say thank you, just stay home once again.
Dude.
Coffee.
Like, exactly. Like, ever since we were talking about that whole like being courteous shit, a couple months back, I have been like paying attention even more to like how many people in general just, thank somebody or what have you. And also trying to be more mindful. So that way, when I realize I'm about to not be that kind of courteous, that I remember to extend that and, say thank you, those sort of things. And dude, it's really interesting because you do definitely sometimes see the trickle down effect, right? So you hold a door for somebody, and then like on your way out, somebody else holds a door for somebody. You're like, good. Like when we leave,
or like the person that you just held the door open for, like runs out the store before you, and you see them like hold the door open as they're leaving for somebody walking in or some shit, and you're like, full circle, let's go.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like you start to see, all right, like that's what we need sometimes. We need some reminders every now and then that like sometimes all I gotta do is be courteous and be cool. You don't know.
Dude, we're all in this together, right? Like every day doesn't have to be a competition. Every day doesn't have to be just like a fucking like sadness fest. You know what I mean? Like I just, it's really weird that you see things happen, right? And like, regardless of like where you are, what you're doing, like what the times are like, and you can just like maintain that certain level of like just like chill and kindness, like how much of a difference you can make. You know what I mean? Like you genuinely can. Like I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, so like when I go grocery shopping, for example, right? Like yours always like have little interactions within the grocery store because you might be like going and like you're going and there you keep on bumping into the same person, just because like you're going opposite ways or whatever. And the first time you're like, oh, sorry about that. And then like later, the second or third time you're like, geez, like we should start going the same way. Like you make a joke and it's just like pleasant, right? And then maybe later on you get to the lineup or whatever, and that person that you've been bumping into the whole time has like 30 things in their cart, and you see somebody else that has 5, and you see them like be nice and just like say, hey, yeah, go ahead. Like you can check out first and I'll go after you. You know what I mean? Even though like they might have been in line first, like you just little things like that, and it makes you wonder, like, was that like weird thing that we had just enough to get them into a good enough mood to do that? Or are they just always that nice? Like you don't know, but like it kind of is like uplifting even on its own. Because you're like, man, like I would do that too. Like fucking right. Like sweet. It's just like that little bit of something in your brain that's like makes you feel good about like just that day. Because you're feeling good about people, or like you're feeling good about like how like the world isn't going to fucking shit and people aren't all selfish as fuck. Because there's some days that like you just feel that. You see somebody that's just fucking cutting people off like on like the end of a fucking lane, like on a merge, or like people that are just like fucking walking through a fucking red light because like 10 other people just walked in front of a fucking red light to cross the fucking street, and you just see all this bullshit and you're like, man, people fucking suck. And then like that next day you could be somewhere else, and you hold the door open and that person seemed grumpy and they didn't really say anything, and then like when they're leaving, you see them hold the door open for somebody else, like be like, yo, I might have made that difference, let's go.
Yep.
Dude, being a good person is not even always like that hard. I think a lot of people get lost in thinking like, dude, I'm having a bad day,
bro.
fuck
Being a good
this.
person isn't for other people. It's for yourself, man.
Well, it should
It's
be.
yeah, exactly. Well, just think about how much better you feel doing something for somebody or just being kind than you do being a fucking dick to somebody. You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys. When I do something nice for somebody, it makes me feel good. Like even like as little as like you're saying, Chris, holding the door open for somebody. It takes me an extra 2 seconds when I'm walking out the door to stop and hold it so someone else can walk in.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
like
I mean?
literally costs you no financial
And
like
dude, I can't
amount
count
at
how
all.
many times I do it, and then instantly the person that's walking in smiles. You know what I mean? Whether or not they're just smiling as like a thank you, or if they're just like, "Oh, that was nice." Hey, dude, you make somebody smile, bro, it gets them endorphins going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, dude. Smiling feels good. We've talked about that too. Smiling feels good, and like doing little things, like those are just like those aren't even tasks.
Little acts of kindness, bro. They add
Yeah,
up.
bro. Like they're not even a task. Like it's literally you already are holding the door open for yourself to walk out. What
Exactly.
is like 2 seconds tops for that person? You know what I mean? What is like you pulling into a gas pump and there's nobody in the stall in front of you, and you see somebody pulling in behind you to just pull up to that fucking first one so the person can pull in behind you. That ain't much, people. But like those little things, that person recognizes the fact that you were about to get out and then you drove forward so they could pull in. And they'll be like, in their brain, whether or not they say thank you, a nod, anything, that they know that you didn't have to do that. And that was nice of you. Those are little things that like, that's not much work, man. If you can't do that, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll give you, I'll school you some shit on how to like be a little bit better of a person.
I mean, another thing that comes to mind with all that too is that like when you are a good person, right? And you're being kind to just everybody around you, you don't necessarily know who those people are, right? And so sometimes being a nice person is all it takes to give you the greatest opportunity of a lifetime, right? Because you might be a really nice person to somebody and they say, hey, I own blah, blah, blah kind of a business, and I've been looking for a person with just the right personality traits that you seem to have. I would love to have, come in and have an interview or something. Like, I've seen this happen to people all because they're not an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, literally all because they're not an asshole.
It's like, you're not a piece of shit. I want to talk to you more. Let's get this done.
I've got a coworker who, just because he's not an asshole, he became friends with a couple that are regular customers, and now, like, he and his lady and that couple, they regularly go out together, and like, they made a friendship all because he's just not an asshole. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, you never know who that person is. That person could be, your next door neighbor that you've never met. And, you just start, you start something on a positive note because of that. The old first impressions attitude, right? Like, you never know who that person is that's in front of you. And sometimes just being a good person could be something that is the catalyst for something even more amazing that you never knew was coming.
You know what, man? That's true. And like, that's like one of those things too. I think that, like, there's nothing wrong with people that go to work and just put their head down. You know what I mean? But like, I think that sometimes being like more involved, not necessarily like socially, but just like, when outside of work, I mean, but like, just being a good presence more than just doing your work is sometimes beneficial, right? There's certain spots, like if you work in a factory, just putting your head down and not being a good presence really makes a difference,
Right.
But if you're working in like a sales spot, or you're some level of customer service, or like you're working in like a group of people that rely upon each other, like you're interacting with those people, like I feel like if you can be a bit more than just like put your head down with your headphones on, never fucking talk to anybody, like that can benefit that spot, because it might make you get noticed more in a positive light. Not notice like, oh, I never have to worry about Stan because he's always working, right? It's like, oh, like Stan is doing really good, and like he has like some level of relationship and communicating with like the whole team. Like maybe he's the kind of person that might have an opportunity to move up, right? And it's not because he works harder than, fucking Steve. It's just that his skills have proven that like he might be better for this position, right? And like, I think that some people just think, yo, I work so fucking hard, nobody works harder than me, how come I'm never getting a position upgrade? And I've seen it happen with people I've worked with. I'd be like, bro, you literally talk to fucking nobody. If anybody says anything to you, you don't even fucking answer them, and you fucking go eat your lunch in your car, and you fucking never fucking ask how anyone's doing. Like, you're literally just like there, right? I'm like, you can't expect people to like be going to bat for you when like they have no idea if like you even have the ability to fucking talk to other people. You know what I mean? Like that's real
kind of crazy,
scenario.
bro. Because like a lot of the things you just said are things that I do. Like I don't really, well, I talk to people, but like I'm not like sitting there chatting my entire day. Like I try to just work most of the day, but I go to my break in my car, eat lunch in my car.
Yeah, but I'm sure that you're not just like fucking a robot and never say anything to anybody. And if someone says like,
but
"Hey,
most
James,
of the
how's
time,
your weekend?" You'd be like, "Oh, good. Like, how was yours?" And like that's
yeah, like I'll do that. But majority of the time when I'm working, bro, I've just got my head down and I just keep to myself and just do my job until
yeah. But how reliant are other people on knowing exactly what you're doing and like talking to you and like communicating like whatever tasks? Like, you know what I mean? It's like
I'm pretty much on my own, dude.
Yeah, so like there's varying levels. Like if you're in a team environment,
but it's because they know they can give me a task and I'm going to go over there and do it, and they don't have to come and check on me. When a lot of other people, they got to stay on top of to keep on task.
The example though that like Uncle Chris has given immediately reminds me of a work situation that I was in with this dude. We nicknamed this guy Tricky Pat. And it's because his name was Patrick, obviously, and we called him Tricky Pat. And part of the reason that my buddy came up with the name Tricky Pat was because Pat was kind of tricky. he was one of those people who just showed up. He didn't really talk to anybody. He was completely awkward. If you tried to engage him in a conversation, it was like a quick murmured, like 1 word, 2 word answer. And then he'd try to shuffle off. And the shitty thing is that because of that awkwardness, that job was unloading freight for a big box store, Target to be specific. And when you do that job, you are still there when the lights are on and the customers are in the building. So you have to be able to interact with customers. Because Pat was not adept at those kind of skills, Pat basically got banished to the trash job. So literally his whole job was to put trash in a trash compactor and load cardboard in a baler every day when he came to work. And so, like, literally, I think what Chris is saying is that's a perfect example of somebody who, had he maybe had the better social skills with his coworkers, he might have been able to not have this horrendous job of just loading trash all the time until he finally got a different job that suited him better, you know?
Yeah, it's like as long as you're not being a fucking asshole to your coworkers, you'll definitely have more chance to improve. But if you're just a dick to people, you probably
Well, and that was the thing, is like
sure.
he wasn't a dick even. It was just that, like, he didn't have those social skills to, like, even engage in the small
probably
talk,
just,
you know?
it probably just made people look at him as like he didn't have as much drive as some of the other people.
Yeah, dude, or like you're not gonna
willing
have
to get
people
it.
in your corner. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's like, "Yo, like, what do you guys think about Pat? Like he applied
Well, I
for
guess-
this spot." You'd be like, "I don't know, man. I don't know anything about him, you know, or whatever."
I guess I could add to like what my whole aspect is. Like I may not like sit around and like chit chat and a whole lot with like coworkers and stuff, but like I do, like whenever I'm done with the task, I am kind of like more driven than other people to go up to like the lead or like the boss and be like, all right, hey, what do you need? What's next? Where do you need me? Sort of thing. So I guess that's kind of what helps me move up.
Yeah, well,
like,
you're personable. You
Well,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like you're approachable and all of that. Like this poor kid,
But,
like
dude,
if
there
you were
are
like, "Hey
times that
Pat,
I
how
have
you
bad
doing today?"
mornings.
Pat like, and he just keep walking. Like,
yeah.
and so I totally get where Uncle Chris is coming from. Like, if that's how you handle, "Hey, how you doing today, Pat?" How are you going to handle, "Excuse me, sir, where do I find the baby food?" Like, if you can't believe that he's going to handle that simple interaction with his coworker, how's he going to respond to a customer?
Yeah, dude, or like, how's that person gonna like get to a position where he's like, "I'm gonna have to have you come in on Saturday."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what he would be. He'd be that dude
Yeah.
that just like has like no fucking person skills. Where it's like, yeah, I'm
Oh
gonna have to
yeah.
have
I
you
guess
come on
I don't.
Saturday. Yeah.
I don't ever really think about that because most of the time I'm just in my zone, just doing my thing.
Because like I've
Yeah,
I've
no,
never
dude,
really-
that wasn't even.
And
a
I've
shot
never
at
been
you,
put in
bro.
one of
That
the,
was
no,
just-
I've never been put in one of those positions really either. I've never had the opportunity.
like, because like I've been in those jobs where, like, exactly like what you're saying, where like you when you're in a production kind of a position, like you are
It's just-
expected to just do your job and
it's
get
just
it done.
easier
Yeah,
to
you're just
keep to
hitting
yourself
numbers.
because I'm one of the guys where it's like, if we got a task, let's get the fucking shit done. You know what I mean? Let's move on to the next thing. That way we don't have to either end up staying longer to get some shit done or end up having to be rushed to get some shit done. We could just be chilling and cruising all day instead of fucking having to be busting our ass all the time. Like I'm one of those kind of guys. Like if we can get to, like, I want to get to a groove to where it's like I'm not putting in a whole bunch, just as much effort as needs to be put into it to where I'm not killing myself throughout the day, but I'm still being productive and we're still getting shit done in a timely manner. That's what I strive for every day when I get to work. You know what I mean? That way I'm not feeling stressed. Cause dude, I'm tired of feeling stressed out about fucking work, dude. I've worked in too many jobs where I've let the stress really get to me and I don't like it, man. So, dude, I've kind of gotten into a groove lately. Like now that I fucking kind of figured out this new machine I'm on, where I just kind of go in, like, all right, what do you guys need? Get my adjustments done, turn that fucking machine on, and then I just do my thing. And it's been pretty sweet the past like week.
Dude,
Not
it's
gonna lie.
nice like working at places where you can take nothing home with you, you know? I always
Yeah.
I always like didn't realize like how much I took that for granted until like doing my own shit. And then I was like, man, I kind of like just like getting told what to do and doing it. Like it's nice. And then once I'm done, like I don't think about it again until I go back into work.
Yeah. And
It's
that's kind of
always
what,
good.
and that's like where I've gotten at with this place. It's kind of been like that since day one, which has been really nice. Cause like I'm not fucking stressed out of like having to like get a certain fucking number done or being swamped with the fucking large amount of shit and having to be there for a fucking 12-hour day. It's like, yeah, I do work an hour of overtime every day, but honestly, at this place, it doesn't even bother me. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind it. And then, on Friday, I get to I feel like I'm bouncing an hour early, even though I'm just working a normal 8-hour shift. It's pretty sweet. Get a little extra change in the pocket. And like I don't feel a whole lot of pressure. I felt a little bit of pressure when I got thrown on the new machine. Not gonna lie, but that's just because that's my personality, and I'm one of the people that if I get put on a task, I want to do it right and do it to the best of my ability. And when I can't get it done when I want to get it done, I get frustrated. Obviously, you guys know my personality. That's how I get sometimes. But I figured out, if I just chill out, take things a step at a time, remember what I've done in the past, it's a lot easier, man.
Yep.
I feel like working on this machine has also helped me on other things in life. You know what I mean? Because it's like I could take the things that I've done with this, be like, okay, how have I reacted to this in the past? Where did that take me? Okay, that didn't take me anywhere. So what did I do that got me in a positive thing? Let's go that way. You know what I mean? So it's like that's kind of, you could take a lot of things in life and implement them in different aspects when you really break them down to the basics, which is kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
See, I like to live in idioms, right? Those little
Yeah.
those little things that you can just like easily remember and recall.
Keep it
And
simple, stupid. My boss
yeah,
told me that the other day because I was getting kind of frustrated, and he understood why. He's like, I get it, bro. He's like, I get it. He's like, you didn't get trained on this properly and you're been tossed into it. But here, I want to tell you this. He's like, we're not pressuring you. We understand where you're at with this. We know you're not going to get it the first time. So take your time, go step by step, one thing at a time. I'm sure you've heard the saying, keep it simple, stupid, kiss. I was like, dude, you're 100% right. I'm going to take your advice. He sat there with me one day. We did the whole thing, figured out what was going on. And from that day forward, I've been at the machine by myself, doing it like we did it that day. And I haven't had too many issues other than, small little things that I've been able to figure out on my own because I've slowed down, taken it a step at a time. Okay, what did I do last time? This was something that happened. Okay, that's not it. What else could they? Okay, maybe I try this. And after a few minutes, figure it out, and I'm back to jamming. You know what I mean?
Dude, you're just fucking reaching into your tool belt and trying to find the right tool to help you with that job.
Yeah.
And you've managed to fucking fill up that belt.
And eventually, dude, it's going to get to the point where I'm not really going to have to mess with it too much because I'm at the point now where it's like I've got everything pretty much set. I know what little adjustments I need to do. And it's been a lot smoother. I'm able to switch back and forth between different profiles real simple. I created a profile the other day, guys. I'm actually really proud of myself. Pat on my back. Took me about 2 to 3 minutes to create this profile when originally it took me about an hour to get one done. So I'm pretty fucking proud of myself.
Hell yeah, dude.
I feel like I'm definitely moving in the right direction on this machine. So hell yeah.
No, that's fucking awesome.
that's right, man. It's the attitude of not why me, but try me.
Dude, and now
Yeah,
I'm
like
hearing
that.
whispers about they're supposed to be setting up a CNC machine in my area too, and I think I'm going to be the one that's thrown onto that too. So I'm going to be learning all kinds of shit.
That kind of stuff is fun because like when you get into the groove, like you're talking about with something like that, it's almost a flow state. Like you can kind of just shut the thinking brain off and just repeat the steps, do what you got to
yeah,
do.
because the cool thing about like these machines too is like it's all automated. You know what I mean? Once you get the profile created and put it in, it's literally selecting that profile, putting your material in, and letting it do its thing, and maybe making little minor adjustments depending on what the spec may be. You know what I mean? And after you do it once or twice, you're gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be real simple. It's like, okay, this is my spec. Boom, boom, boom. Da da da. Throw the fucking material in there. Let the machine do its thing, and then just run it however many units you need to run. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just
For tolerance changes
Yeah.
as it goes.
And at that point, like with CNCs and stuff like that, that really doesn't change all that often because it's once it's set, it is set. You know what I mean? The only time you may need to change something is like if you change a bit out or change out a blade, because there might be different variations depending on, if you've sharpened them or not, or if it's been dulled out or something like that. That may be the only time. Other than that, it shouldn't change, and you just like let your thing, unless the material changes, which with wood, when you're working with wood, there's variations. It's gonna fucking happen. And you just have to know to adjust for it. And it just comes with time and practice.
I worked in a factory that worked on CNC lathes and shit, but they were all metal cutting. So for them, those adjustments had to happen a lot more often because you'd wear out your cutting tools very quickly. You're doing a run of, say, 20,000 of these, titanium pieces that you're cutting. Like, you're going to go through several bits. You're going to wear that shit out. So like you'd be adjusting tolerances all the time. But it is cool because it's literally like, it's a flow state. It just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and you just do it. And like that shit was kind of fun for me. Sit there, while it's running, I'm deburring apart, getting, all the little like sharp edges off, making it ready, getting it into its cleaning solution. Now, and I'm moving them, reloading more stock. Like it was beautiful. You just got into this groove. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, hey, it's lunchtime. Oh, hey, it's time to go home. Holy crap. Where'd the day go?
Right.
I always love when you reach those flow states. And I mean, obviously people get them in different times. Like people talk about it with running all the time, where it's like you reach a flow state where you're just doing. Your brain's not thinking about any of it. You're just in it, doing it.
It happens to me every day at work, bro. I get into a zone, and the next thing you know, oh, break time, cool. Snap out of it, go do my thing, come back, flow zone again. Oh, lunchtime. You know what I mean? That's what I strive for every day, is just to get in that zone, because it makes the day just go by so much quicker. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's what we should all be striving for, is to find that flow state, that zone.
I know what zone I'm about to get into here in a second, because I got some fucking deliciousness waiting for me right now. About to get in that in and out zone.
Oh shit. Well, that's a perfect time because we are reaching the end of our stay. Gina's telling me that we need to start wrapping it up.
Oh yeah, about to get my grub on.
Yes,
Gina!
sir. I'm excited because I got to make some orange chicken and sticky rice tonight. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah, I
love sticky rice, bro.
I've been breaking my wife into more Asian cuisine lately, and it's kind of cool that like she's really starting to dig some of these different dishes.
Gotta take her to go get some Thai, bro.
Dude, we're getting there. The issue is she's not a very texture driven person. So
Thai barbecue chicken's like really like a solid first time try, bro. Because it's not, the texture's not crazy. It's just the flavors, bro.
I have this little Thai lady that is in this area, and I can never remember where her actual restaurant is, but she always does like little pop-up things at events. Like she'll do it, like she would have been there yesterday at the Boston Freedom Rally with her family. And like she'll do like the waterfront festival here in Plymouth, all sorts of little events like that. But this woman does a mango rice,
sticky rice, bro,
and a chicken kebab that are to die for.
Dude,
and every time I see her, I'm like, let me get them. Oh my God, bro.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, that woman is a saint. dude, her cooking will change your life. I swear, if you like Thai food. So on that note, because of course we always end this show with a little food talk, Uncle Chris, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Okay, well, yeah. So on the the food front, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna be making some meals tonight, but I have a feeling that one of them is gonna be spicy because I really like with the whole meal prep thing that I've been doing for a minute now. I love it when I just have it all random in my freezer and I
And
just
you just
pull
grab one
whatever's
out.
on top, right? And when you get that one that's spicy, you're just like, yo, today's a
Yo.
good day.
It's like,
Like,
Oh
I
shit,
don't
the
want-
Penang curry was today. Okay.
But dude, I can't do that every day. You know what I mean? Because there are certain things that I like that don't taste necessarily good spicy. But I have a feeling that one's going to be because I think that I've had maybe 2 weeks in a row where I haven't made anything spicy. So I'm gonna have something that when I'm eating it and it's hot, I get that fucking
That little
elevated
endorphin
vibe
rush.
of
Yeah.
ooh, I'm fucking eating spice. So that's my food talk for the day. I'm excited for that. But thanks to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys already all know that. So if you guys want to support us in any way, just go over to shedtimepodcast.com. Check it out. You can buy some stuff from our sponsors. You can follow some of us, our sponsors, on socials. You can drop reviews. You can do whatever. You can go to our Patreon and become a patron of ours. All those things would be dope. Appreciate you for even just considering any of those things. If you guys want to check me out, you can check me out on Tuesday nights on KBTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up. You can check me out on Friday nights for The Green Room on Frames Shaking Vapors YouTube channel. And that's at the same time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Of course, if you guys want to try out any of my e-liquid, feel free to do that. Just go to UncleChrisTestingGrounds.com, use coupon code Shedtime. And I ship to most places. Chances are, if you're listening to this, I would deliver it to you, not personally, but through the mail service. So don't let that really be the reason that you think I can't ship to you. Just even if you have a question, you can shoot me a message right through the site. So feel free to do that. I think that's it for me. I just want everybody to have a fucking good week. Hold some doors open for some people. Pull forward at the gas station. Let somebody go ahead of you in a line. Just anything. And while you're doing that, I think that you're going to be living your best life. So,
Nice,
Frames,
dude.
take it away.
Shout out to all the Shedheads for tuning in and go check out the Patreon so you guys can get the video version of the podcast if you guys are interested in that, as well as some awesome discount codes, giveaways, all kinds of cool stuff happens over there on the Patreon, as well as access to our Discord. Of course, you can check us out on Fridays, like Chris said, on my YouTube channel. We've got some build-offs happening. We've got some special guests coming on. We've got some cool stuff going on over there on Friday nights. Check that out. And of course, I got some reviews dropping for you guys throughout the week as well. Other than that, we'll be back here on the podcast doing the damn thing with the boys. Looking forward to it. So go check it out on all your podcasting platforms. Tell your friends, tell your grandparents, tell your cousins, tell everybody. Check us out. And with that, I ended as I always do, sending out positive vibes, crisp high fives, and as always, a little dabble do ya, Sean.
Yes, sir. So one more time, shedtimepodcast.com. You can find links to Patreon. You can join up in the Discord if you become a patron, which is super cool, as well as catch the videos of all of these podcasts. So yeah, that's where you can find us over there at shedtimepodcast.com. And with all of that, I'm gonna bring it to a close like we always do. Remember, don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun, because the Shed Time Podcast is about to roll on up and roll on out. Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy, Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
Deuces.
Oh, solid.
He saw it.